Well, joining me in the studio is David DeRoche. He's a professor at the Thayer Marshall Institute to talk all things Gulf and what's going on, particularly around Kharg Island. I mean, in the last 12 hours, David, the US military has executed what President Trump described as, quote, one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East. How pivotal a moment is this?
Well, that bombing raid that he refers to is not Kharg Island. It's the continuation of the general bombing raid against targets within Iran proper. So I wouldn't say we're working towards a pivot. It's more of working towards an inflection point. His strategy is to get the security forces, and particularly the parts of the security forces that control ballistic missiles, drones, and now the possibility of disrupting neutral civilian shipping in the Strait, to make that militarily ineffective and to start to hollow out the internal security forces that put down the protests in January. So it's not very visible because it's basically the same action intensified over 5 days, and it doesn't play well on our media, which is transitory and momentary, but it's more of an incremental development rather than a pivotal switch.
What should we make of this news that 2,500 troops from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Corps are on their way from Japan to the area? Where would they go? What would they potentially do?
Marine Expeditionary Unit. They would, so they're amphibious troops. Their specialty is to do an amphibious landing, although as a U.S. Army soldier, I have to point out that the largest amphibious operation in history, Normandy landing, had no Marines. What they would probably do is, first off, just their presence there serves as a form of deterrent. I think we're in a phase here where the Trump administration is looking at how Iran has expanded their attacks both horizontally to neutral Arab countries and other regional countries, and they're also starting to hit more civilian infrastructure, probably because of a lack of ability to hit military infrastructure. I think this is meant as a sort of a warning, saying, look, we have the ability to land forces along the littoral. It's to ensure investors and maritime insurers that we have a capability here that can go, say, on the Iranian side of the Strait, seize key installation. But also, this is a force that has a lot of firepower and can move very quickly anywhere on a coastline.
Okay, 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. Thank you for clarifying that. So what do the Iranians potentially have by way of defending Kharg Island? Because the Speaker of Iran's parliament, Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf, has said, we will abandon all restraint and make the Persian Gulf run with the blood of invaders. Yeah,
he talks kind of luridly, doesn't he? So I don't think this has been a chestnut in planning going back to the Iranian seizure of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, is seize Kharg Island, shut down their oil infrastructure. But it's not really it's more of a political signal rather than a military signal. If the industry shuts down, it shuts down. But you can do that without physically holding the ground. I think, again, this is signaling because Iran has expanded list of targets. They've targeted the natural gas facility at Ras Laffan. They've targeted the oil storage facility at Ras Tanura. They've targeted the Bapco refinery in Manama and the Iraqi and Omani oil refineries. The only Iranian facility that's been targeted was the, up until now, was the Mehrabad Airport oil storage, which the Israelis were at great pains to say, look, this is the #2 airport in Tehran. This is a Revolutionary Guard storage facility. We're not doing the general infrastructure. I think that, again, this is signaling to say, look, if you expand this into civilian infrastructure in a militarily significant way, we have a lot to do. And the video that we saw was against pipelines, which are easily repaired. I would consider that to be a demonstration, not an attack. It's a demonstration of precision capability, saying, if this keeps up, we're going to hit your refineries, which you cannot repair.
David, many thanks. David DeRoche, then.
Thank you.